stream, I'm going to address a few things about myself and the history of this channel, and specifically, or at least my YouTube channel. So I'm going to turn the music down so that way I don't get a copyright strike on this video, and I'll turn it back on when I am actually, playing video games or drawing, which I will be doing later on in the stream. But right now, as you can see about the tabs, I have quite a few things that I need to address. And I think it was like 2 streams ago, or maybe it was 3 streams ago, I started discussing pre-dynastic Egypt. Not in a lot of detail, but I want to share with you all the extent of my expertise on this topic before I talk about it, so that way you all know that this isn't just me talking some bullshit. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay. Whew. All right. These are a collection of books that I have read throughout my life. Okay. These are rather recent, that I got when I was in college, when I was doing African art, or studying African American art rather, and I wanted to have a larger perspective on African art in general. But a lot of them are much older. Like this one. This is like one of the very first books I've gotten. How to read Egyptian hieroglyphs. I read it all the way through. I have my own little personal notes. Hold on, let's see. I've even highlighted, some of it's, worn, but I've highlighted a lot of sections because this is actually something I'm very interested in. And of course it comes with my own little note from my mom. This is the first book I've ever gotten on ancient Egypt. Before I was even, and even before then, I was checking out books like these. This is the second oldest book I got, Tutankhamun's tomb. Very interesting, a lot of different artifacts, and it even goes beyond that, and it has like different artifacts outside of Tutankhamun's tomb. So like Middle Kingdom, Old Kingdom. I think there's pre-dynastic stuff in here too. I haven't read this in a while. No, it doesn't look like it. Second oldest book. Alright. And of course, this. Egypt, Word of the Pharaohs, or whatever. It's literally the entirety of Egyptian history in this whole book. And this is the third oldest book that I own on Egyptian history. It covers everything from pre-dynastic to ancient Egypt. I used to read this book to go to sleep because it was just so long, and honestly, granted, it's a little bit boring at times and it's very academic, but I'm pretty sure that's a textbook in some Egyptology class somewhere. And these are more recent, but I've already read both of these. I've checked these out of my library on several occasions. This one, obviously, you can't tell, but I think this is Valley of the Kings. Yeah, this is Valley of the Kings. So this is all... Well, they're not all the books I own on ancient Egypt, but those are the most academically viable books that I have on the subject. I also own what is it, Black Exodus, or what is it called? Black Genesis? Yeah, I own Black Genesis, which is a book that basically explains why ancient Egypt, or at least pre-dynastic Egypt, was a quote unquote black civilization. I also own a few other books on hieroglyphics, a couple on Egyptian art, on Egyptian theology, or rather Egyptian deities and such. This is a look. And that's not like something that I've shared with too many people. But yeah, like all those books that I've gotten eventually led me to this moment where I made several videos describing about how ancient Egypt was black. Okay, like the entirety of ancient Egypt was black. All right, and this is before I knew about the Black Egyptian hypothesis and all that. So And this is before I even went to college, okay? So here we go. Well, actually, I was in college when I made this particular video, but videos that are privated on my channel now, that are less academically researched, not to say that this video I'm about to show you is academically researched, because honestly it isn't. It's mostly just analogy. But yeah, I'm showing this to explain this whole situation that I'm currently in with my YouTube channel. So here we go. If I see one more movie or TV show, this is a quote from like an old video that I did, that takes place in ancient Egypt, where all the important ethnically Egyptian characters, I don't know what the fuck I meant by important ethnically Egyptian characters. So I guess like the main characters that are Egyptian, whatever. Anyway, are white. I'm literally going to lose faith in humanity. And yeah, that was the whole thing. And then I saw the trailer for Gaza, Egypt. I don't know if it came out in 2015 or not, but yeah.
Before the Fury swept over our land, before the war that divided us for eternity.
I'm done.
I was like, at first I was like, okay, are they Greeks in Egypt? Like, what's happening? And then I was like, oh, he's Anubis. Oh wait, no, he's Set. Oh, wait, so it's Horus versus Set. And then I actually watched the movie years later after it came out. It's horrible. Very pretty, you know. It's the graphics very convincing to a degree. I mean, you can't really do that much with CGI nowadays. Everybody's seen it. Everybody knows when it's, you know, CGI. But hey, it was nice. It was nice. The plot, bullshit. Everything else, bullshit. But visuals, not bad. Not terrible.
That's it. I lost faith in humanity. Trump gonna become president. Global warming's gonna kill us all. No hope.
This video is
I know how irritated I am.
not my best.
Like, not even 5 months after I proved that the ancient Egyptians were black on my channel.
That video, you will not find it, because I did not prove shit. I just was talking shit, and yeah, that's about it. I was angry and young and didn't know how to form logical arguments. But yeah,
I decided to spew out this heaping pile of.
we're just gonna skip
Why does
ahead.
it matter? Why do we have to portray the ancient Egyptians as black? Why can't we portray them as all races? All lives matter.
These are the arguments that I was getting on that video.
Well, to start off, they've been portrayed as whites for ever since media was.
Yeah, like the Egyptians in media were basically portrayed as white for a long time. Mainly because, you know, American media, and I guess European media to an extent, didn't want to hire actors of color, or just didn't care to hire actors of color. And so either they were just seen as white, and also there's that whole mythology behind the Egyptians were a different race than the other sub-Saharan Africans in that region, or they were a different, you know, group of people from any other group of people within that region, which is to some degree true, but not really that true, because human beings are all the same species. Anywho,
Ever since you could go to a movie theater and watch a movie, they've been portrayed as white. Ever since white supremacists,
Yeah.
Egyptologists went into Egypt and was like, that's a white man, even though he's pointing at a brown man on the wall.
basically.
Ever since those people lied and said that they were, just for their own superiority complex that they have. Now,
I mean, yeah, and I probably should correct my past self. It wasn't a superiority complex, it was an inferiority complex that led them to believe that, because they're afraid that black people or dark-skinned, melanated individuals basically run the world because their genes are dominant or whatever bullshit. It's really ridiculous.
now
It's
we're
honestly
talking before
ridiculous.
the Greeks took over Egypt. Most Greek historians at that time period even said that the Egyptians were black.
They didn't use the term black. They used the Greek term. I think it was Ethiopi or Ethiops, which basically means people of burnt faces. Hold on, let me make sure I'm getting my terms right. Okay, I spelled it wrong. First of all, I never was interested in Greece. I never thought Greece was interesting. It just was like, all right, y'all came out of Egypt in my mind, which is, arguably not true. But I guess to some extent, Greece came out of Crete, and Crete came out of North Africa. You know, relatively speaking. So, arguably, yes, but is that historical fact at this point in time? No, it's not. But yeah, I'm trying to see where's the direct translation here. Okay, here we go. The Greek Ethiopia, as Ethiopian, is a compound derived from two Greek words, aetho, I burn, and ops, face. So people of burnt faces. Yeah. So wasn't wrong about that. That's nice.
It's there. Look it up. Don't be lazy. And you know, since this whole movie is about the gods of Egypt,
Yeah.
ancient Egypt.
I mean, yeah, ancient Egypt. If we're talking ancient Egypt, to me, ancient Egypt is like pre-dynastic Egypt to Old Kingdom. And I guess Middle Kingdom can be included in that. And to some degree, the New Kingdom also is ancient. Everything after New Kingdom is not ancient Egypt in my mind, because ancient Egypt is like pyramid builders. Like they was building pyramids, like, you know, had very distinct African signatures within their culture. Okay, and that's not to say that they were all one skin color, because that's not what it means to be black. Like, black people aren't all one skin color, but that is to say that there needs to be a conversation around this topic that isn't being had, and so I'm gonna try my best to go about this without stepping on any North African toes, hopefully. Or white people toes, for that matter. Fuck your toes. I'll stomp on them. I'll stomp all over your white toes. I don't care.
You may also be asking yourself, why is this important? Well, about 70% of agencies, actors, directors, and producers.
That I pulled that number out of my ass, but yeah, like I basically was like, okay, so about 70% of America is white, so 70% of all this bullshit is
Egypt is
whatever.
Africa, not the Middle East. Who the hell came up with that?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I don't know why Egypt is starting to be included in the Middle East. I mean, I guess the Suez Canal, but like even before the canal was built, like, wasn't, like, maybe I'm getting my history wrong. Hold on, because I know about a few places, but I'm not versed in everything. I particularly am versed on ancient Egypt, as you have seen from my collection of books. Okay. I don't know why I was about to say the Middle Feast. The Middle Feast. What am I typing? Okay. See, Egypt's included for some reason. Okay. Territories and regions, criticism and usage. I mean, obviously, I don't like the term Middle East, because like it's not technically India would be the Middle East, like, and also parts of China and Kazakhstan. I think that's Kazakhstan. I don't know. Anyway, like technically those places would be the Middle East in terms of geography, but of course Europeans are Eurocentric, so it's the middle passage between Europe and the Far East, which is, you know, China, Japan, India, all those places, to them. So, anywho, back to the topic at hand.
The Middle East is literally I believe it makes sense to me that shouldn't matter. So in other words, cast the movie
It shouldn't.
with black main characters. And sure,
Whoops.
yeah, they have Thoth in that movie and he's black, but really, one out of all
They did
guys,
have Thoth
you know,
in
all
that
them
movie.
Show some melanin in the
He
pictures,
was
pictures on the
black,
wall. Just
but
one, just we only get one.
personally,
He's not even an actual person. He's like Idisberg or something. But he black though in the movie.
I hadn't seen the movie. But yeah, Thoth isn't as Ibis Bird, but like he was a cool Ibis Bird, you know? He was like one of those chill Ibis Birds who dropped knowledge on the Egyptians whenever the fuck they needed it the most. Okay. Not in the movie, but in actual mythology.
That's what we get. I can't even be mad though, because he is the god of wisdom. So nah, I'ma still be mad though. If it truly hurts your white soul to cast an all-black cast and black man characters in a movie, cast some white actors as minor characters, because that's all they were at that time period, minor.
This was me just being salty. I was just being salty as shit. That's not even accurate. Like, white people in terms of European civilizations were doing their own thing at their own pace, and that's perfectly fine, okay? I wouldn't say that their shit was quote-unquote minor now, although that is where my mind was at during that time, because I was just so angry that, you know, African people are rarely portrayed accurate in the context of ancient civilization movies. You know, it was annoying. It still is annoying, but less annoying because I understand
Now
it.
to tell the true story of the true gods of Egypt that this movie or this piece of crap was based off of. Link here.
Alright, so there was a link, but you know, YouTube has changed so often that, you know, links don't even exist anymore. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play this video. This is the video that actually got me the most traction on my channel, surprisingly. And I have a shit ton of comments that I had to address on this video alone. And I do read every comment, and I do like to reply to, you know, questions and shit like that. How many comments? 140 some comments. Most of them are probably mine, just replying to people. But yeah, let's just watch
African
this.
names as well as Greek names, so there's no confusion. So there's this guy named Osar or Osiris, and he was the king of Egypt who ruled alongside his wife Set or Isis, not to be confused with a terrorist group. Now Osar's brother Set or Seth was jealous of him, so he plotted to kill.
Remember when ISIS was relevant as a terrorist group? Wow, how times have
ISIS, not to
changed.
be confused with a terrorist group.
Now we're just worried about, you know, the Boogaloo Boys and you know, the Proud Boys and whatever the fuck else people. Yeah, all those white supremacist groups. You know the ones.
Now Osar's brother Set or Seth was jealous of him, so he plotted to kill Osar. He challenged Osar to a fight, murdering him and cutting his body up into 14 pieces and scattered them across Egypt via the Nile River. Set,
It was so difficult to read off of a script. I'm not even gonna
the
lie.
dedicated wife that she was, found every single part of her husband's body except his penis, which according to legend was eaten by fish. Then, with the help of Anpu or Anubis,
And mind you, there are several different versions of this story because it is like one of those things that links ancient Egypt to African civilization and most indigenous civilizations for that matter. This is like probably an orally told story that got passed down and eventually written down, and then through it being written down, it also changed whenever somebody else wrote it down. So there's so many different versions of the story. I just told one. Some people got upset that I told one that was like kind of different, but I just was like, hey, this is the one I'm gonna go with. This is the one that makes sense. And I'm going to mute my phone now because that is not professional. Be quiet, phone. Shh. Hush. Hush. Okay.
she wrapped him up in bandages, and Asar became the first mummy, and Anpu, along with Aset, became the first embalmers. Now, at the time of his death, Asar and Aset had no children. By some,
Also, I don't know if the whole Anpu and Isis becoming the first embalmers thing was accurate. I might actually have to look into that a little bit more.
mystical, comedic Egyptian magic. Asar's spirit impregnated Aset.
His spirits. She actually just used the phallus and impregnated herself. If we're gonna get graphical about it, like that's what happened. But yeah, I said her spirits because TOS.
And so Aset became one of history's first spiritual conceptions. But that's a.
I mean, technically, it is a spiritual conception, but not in the literal sense of a spirit is impregnating her. Well, I guess if that's the sense of, you know, immaculate conception, then yeah, that's what happened. But she did, you know, physically have a phallus impregnate her, but that's not really physically possible. So Egyptians are just creative storytellers. I'll just give them that.
Video. Anyway, Aset had a son named Heru, or Horus, and he was raised secretly in the Nile Delta to protect him from his uncle. When Asar died, Set seized the throne of Egypt and ruled with tyranny. When Heru grew up, he challenged his uncle for the right to the throne. After many battles, Haru eventually won. He avenged the death of his father and regained the throne. As for the whole eye-snatching thing, during one of the battles,
The eye snatching thing is referring to the movie where basically they took both of Horus's eyes in the movie, which is so inaccurate because that's not what happened in the actual story, but
Set
whatever.
took one, let me say it again, one of Haru's eyes and threw it into the cosmos. That's right, he threw it into space. Space. Later, it was retrieved by Tahuti, or Thoth, and used to revive his father, Asar. Asar then became ruler of the Netherworld along with his dedicated wife, Aset. Now,
Yeah, that's what happened. And a lot of people just stuck around because holy shit, that outro music is so good. What's the outro music? It's Treat Me Caucasian by who? Hold on, I forget their names. I'm not gonna play it because it's probably gonna mute my stream. Hold on, I'll just click it just to see their name. Mick Jenkins, Superboy. That's who did the outro music. Okay. Anywho, I said all that to come back to this video.
Let me point out the stupidity that is this movie.
Mostly it is facts, and yeah, I did point out the stupidity of the movie. There's a bunch of stupid shit about the movie that I don't like, but I wanted to do something that like retouches on the subject, mainly because I'm pretty sure most of y'all who have subscribed to me on my channel subscribe to me because of the Asar, Set, and Haru video. I personally just thought, if I had a short video under 5 minutes, it'd be a nice little side video for the main video, which was this one. But this video only got 684 views, and nobody actually watched it. But everybody else watched, this video, which, hey, it is what it is. It's just interesting how, stuff like that works out. But I'm pretty sure most of y'all subscribe to me because of this video. 会話が続かないのなぜかどうして